How long have you been working on that piece?
Like, so the wood, the pine, it's 12 feet and a half long, 2 feet diameter. It's been drying, it's a third year drying. So I carved the V at the bottom, the big V, because
just
the guys told me to do that. So there's a big V crack across. Now I finished the turtle, so all those are kind of animals of Abenaki, like the turtle, the fish is
musky, the big, large, like a pipe.
Super old fish, like it's 350 years old. It's older than actually the turtle one. And then the bear, the fox. The fox is more the representative of
Sly,
but he's the fox, like my ancestor. Okay. How he became a chief is that one time during an excursion, he was 20 years old, they asked him to kill the rattlesnake and to bite in it in half. And so he killed the rattlesnake by biting in the rattlesnake and split it in half. So I want to be kind of a rattlesnake in the mouth, like a small snake in the mouth of the thing for the throat. So basically, the top, like one of these carvings, I guess I'm out or whatever.
So you wanted me to help you on this thing?
To carve the first carving.
Oh, shit.
I would do the finishing job. Like I got a few tools that I got myself a grinder, but I need to kind of you be the first big cuts because I don't want to screw this up. No? I'm a good artist. Like I can.
You don't want to screw this up.
But like I need someone to kind of do a first kind of. Maybe it's a day's work, 2 days work.
It's not about the work to me. It's just about what it is. That's a very important artwork. That's a very. So your ancestor was a chief of what? Abenaki?
The Abenaki tribe was around Quebec City, near Sorel is. Okay. Sorel, the reserve is still there, it's called Abenaki. And he was the chief of Abenaki right at the time the U.S. became a country. So on top of being the chief of the Abenaki, he was a major under George Washington to defeat the English, and they did. So he was kind of a warrior chief. And the last of the Yankees, as one of the chiefs of the tribes. Like there's many tribes in the Mohicans that just after the last big battle, so he's there too.
I hope my camera's recording all this.
So
Like,
yeah, maybe. So
I hope the sound is good because like
I can.
listen, because I'm doing a little YouTube channel thing, and like right now I was just filming myself paint, and that's boring as hell. You know, I love First Nation culture and energy. I mean, this is sacred ancient territories here of these Anishinaabe people and the Algonquins and you know, it's charged full of energy here. They knew about this energy at this place with all the water and stuff flowing under this place, and there's mineral deposits and everything, and like it's just a very strong place, this area, and that's why Casabaswa is called Casabaswa. It's two Algonquin words put together that mean current underground. I'm not a fisherman.
It's beautiful for the fish. It's just 20 minutes there, turn, there's a road. Everyone has access. It's gorgeous.
See, like for me, like trying to carve on your perfect design that's already on there, I'm so paranoid to mess that up. Like I'm more of like a free flow, like I just draw with the chainsaw, and like I don't have stress of like following lines and stuff like that, and I work with the wood, and like, man, I just think that you should trust yourself and go at that the old way of the chisel, just because it's very important for the energy that goes into the wood. Like I use the chainsaw, I burn the gas, but like you have gone to
Finish the chisel. And I want you to kind of, it's a bit like, remember Rocky 2, when he explains to Rocky the granite spot, and then I carved you out, but you did the finishing. Like that's what I want to finish with this chisel, but I don't have the time. I've been waiting for 3 years now. I've done it, the drawing's almost there. Like it's more of a, I understand what you're saying, but I want to finish with the chisel. I don't want to take the big pieces out, and I don't have that depth of feature that you do, like those type of, like kind of big cuts where I'm like, okay, how should I, like the eye of the bear, just the bear eye is about that big. So there's two eyes on the bear.
I'm just sort of, ideas are flying through my head as you're talking, so I'm sorry to cut you off, but like I could sort of see myself doing it, but then freestyling a little bit with it, so that it's not a full copy of what you did or what you were taught, which is the ancient motifs of BC, First Nations, Haida people, masters of the totem, and masters of like, you know what I mean? I'm even scared to touch that because like it could be bad. I don't want to be copying or doing that because it should be done by a Haida. It should be done by a Haida person.
But what the Haida teachers that I have somewhere in this one, they all said one country, and they agreed that it made sense for me to use Haida art for an Eastern Township tribe. So it's near Quebec City, it's more like an Eastern Township. And they said we're all one. And it's one art for the whole
It's
of
like this guy here. All one. This is everyone. This is all the universe. Every mankind, every race. He's it. So that's a very important, strong artwork in this group. No, I don't want you to pay for it. I will go and get a nice joint and happily roll us a joint. It's not often I get a person come in here and like ask me for a toke. So I embrace that because I always have a joint burning. If you know me, you know.
Yeah, I know.
I always have a joint. So if I don't have a joint, either lit, burning, or on the way to rolling one. There's something going on.
One thing that I wanted to show you is that what you wanted, I can give it to you on this piece right here. The fox. Like the fox I won't do any of the drawings. I'll do the sides,
man.
but I'll let you.
Dude, you're gonna have to send me a photo of this. Do you have a few photos of this thing?
Yeah.
Different angles and stuff?
Yeah.
Send it to me. I'll post it on the video, like when I put my video on YouTube, so that we can see what we're looking at. It's just amazing. It's freaking amazing.
That's the wood, just the bear and the turtle. The bear has a fish, has the musky in his paws in between now. So it's the bear.
Okay, wait, is that a paper on there?
Yeah, it's a mylar paper. It's used by architects, but they use my
To transfer?
to transfer on the wood. So basically, you redraw under the lines. It's a technique they use in DC to kind of you do their drawings first, and then
Yeah, well, the First Nations people are not fools. You know what I mean? Like, why draw that 10 times when you can draw it once? And, you know what I mean? Have a template.
I can
But,
send
yeah.
you the pics for sure, man. No problem.
The thing is, you know what? I'm so fucking busy right now. I'm trying to prepare for an art show and trying to go to New York. Okay, like, so like, I've been telling people all summer, like, sorry, none of this is available.
Are
Do
you going to
want
town?
I'm trying to fix that right now.
I can help you. My dad's a art dealer, and he knows the connections in New York.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to get a show at certain places. At this point, I'm like willing to take a show anywhere, but there's one guy in particular. His name is, they call him the Art Shin. He has Shin Gallery in New York, and he's a Korean billionaire that is like at the top of the art scene over there. He's a major collector of like old ancient arts of every culture and new arts coming in, and he likes to put the two together and stuff. So he's like one of my top like places that I'm sort of like aiming at, and then I'll trickle my way down and take whatever at the end. If I get super desperate, I'll take any fucking show in Brooklyn even, you know what I mean?
I was supposed to be at New York today. My buddies went to the US Open, the tennis tournament, right? I went last summer to New York for 4 days, like during the US Open. It's one of the 4 biggest tournaments in the world.
Right. Let me go get a joint. Let me stop the camera and like, yeah. I just like,
We can discuss, like, for me, so that's impossible. There's a mistake with your ancestry.ca. It says no, they double check that there's no American blood. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do some research. Because I have art from a man who's a 2nd generation ancestor of mine that was his grand-niece. And so I look up his story, and his dad and his mom, at 9 years old, were abducted from a British settlement in Boston. The city is called Halliburton. It's just north of Boston. It was one of the first settlements in North America.
Wow.
So the Abenaki tribe would go down 4 hours, 6-hour walk to attack those settlements, take the kids, and use them as slaves.
Wow.
Okay? And so it's okay if you're filming, that's great. And so basically what happened is that the mother and the father were abducted at 9 in that British settlement, and they were brought back to the Odanak reserve that's near Sorel, like 20 minutes from Quebec City on Lac Saint-François. It's a national reserve from UNESCO. It's so beautiful. There's so many animals. So basically, the reserve was in another energy, kind of high, strong area that's near Quebec City. So he was basically procreated by 2 English parents that decided to marry and live in the reserve after the fact. The dad's parents asked to come back, and they liked the reserve life so much that the parents stayed in the reserve in Quebec City and had him as a baby child. So his name was Louis-Joseph Gill. So since he was a child from 2 white pure blood, didn't have Amerindian blood, and that's why my cousin in Boston's test came back negative, because he married in the first marriage the daughter of the chief, who was called Twice Beautiful. She was so beautiful, she was called Twice Beautiful, but she died. She died in an attack by Major Rogers. Major Rogers was like the head of what they called later the Rangers, the U.S. Rangers.
Wow.
And so he did an attack on the reserve while the men were gone hunting. So they killed a few women and children, but his general had told him, and his general is one of the generals that you see in The Last of the Mohicans, and he told him, don't kill any wives and children, just the men. Because the guys, the Abenakis, would keep on attacking the English settlement, by that time the US had informed Washington was still a general in the British Army. And so what happened is that he abducted the wife of the chief, who is the pure white blood Indian chief, which happened often at that time. You had a lot of pure white blood chief because they abducted children, and then the children would marry other white abductees, and they became the smartest guys in the tribe because of their DNA background. And it was common practice that you have a pure white blood chief. And so basically what happened is that they abducted the wife, they went down the river back to the English settlement, and at one point they lacked food, so they killed his first wife, the English warrior, and kept the son alive. And the son was found later on in the English settlement, but the wife had been killed, the first one. And so I haven't smoked in a while.
Okay, I was rolling you your own little joint. Maybe Shannon, you light it and pass it to him?
Two puffs
Okay.
is gonna
That's
be
what
enough.
I do. I just have
Okay.
a puff.
And I'm done.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And
Me, I'm a two-paper kind of guy.
It's okay. And so basically, his wife had just been killed. He was the chief, and he pursued that major until half his army was dead. The story is written in about 5 books, and like people have done research on it. A movie was made about it in 1954, and it won an Oscar.
Really?
Like it was such a powerful story
Holy shit.
about that Major's Rogers that was so popular that started the Rangers.
Yeah.
Anyways, like some sort of curse followed Major Rogers afterwards. He became an alcoholic, got divorced, and never kind of came back to reality because they said that abduction and the fact they killed his wife and half his army got killed by the Abenaki on the way back to Boston. It traumatized him and he never recovered from it. He became an alcoholic.
Yeah.
So what happened afterwards is that many years later, he married the daughter of a French general. So the French were on the Quebec side. And so he married that daughter and started a second family. His son from his first marriage stayed alive, one of them, the other one died. And my direct lineage is from that second marriage with the French general's daughter.
Cool.
And my dad, which is funny, my dad's a French immigrant. And it's from my mother's side. My mother looks like a little Indian, even though she's pure white blood in the thing. My mother is like you, like small brown hair, whatever.
Yeah.
And so my mother kind of replicated invertedly. She married a French immigrant from France. And whatever, it's a great story.
Yeah.
And what's great about it is because they refuse the lineages on the maternal side of most First Nations across Canada. In 1987, they made a rule that if you can prove your lineage through your maternal background from 2 generations back, we'll accept you as a pure First Nation. So because it's on my maternal side, my mother, her grandmother, and her mother, I can go back and get my First Nations
Are you gonna do that?
Probably.
Yeah.
But first, like I went to the paper. I have to go to Abenaki, the reserve, and I have to go get my membership there. The lineage is clean. Like I can prove the lineage, and that's all you need. So the membership is like $200, and then you can apply lineage plus the membership to the reserve. You get your.
That's awesome.
Anyways, the story, I read the 5 books that I found on our old books. 2 guys that wrote those books studied at Harvard. One of them was so obsessed with the story, he became crazy. He spent the rest of his life in a nurse facility. The story was so intense. So he's probably that guy, the chief. The chief at 40, 45. And then was the chief until he was 74. So that's your lifespan as a chief, which is very rare. Usually you become chief between 35 and 50.
Yeah.
Like some chiefs become chiefs at 55, like in lineage and stuff. And so a 50-year lifespan as a chief of a tribe, where he signed most of the biggest treaties at the time, because there were so many wars and changes of power. Like the U.S. became the U.S., the Quebec French side became Quebec French side, the rest of Canada became Anglo-British. So there were a lot of treaties that were signed. He signed them all. Because during that 50-year lifespan, there were like kind of so many kind of changes of powers.
But also, like, all of those chiefs knew about other chiefs and other tribes in other areas, and they were all being invaded by these colonizers. So they're trying to work out a deal for each other and their tribes to make things work with these people, because to them, to the native, to the First Nations people, they don't own this place.
Yeah.
They're just here. And so they're accepting and welcoming of other beings and people, and they were totally taken advantage of right from the beginning and enchanted with all kinds of stuff, like including like red beads and alcohol and other shit from Europe, right?
Exposed to Europeans. Some of them died. That's crazy when you think about it. It's not even that they killed them physically in war or they lost because whatever. It was a war of attrition because of smallpox disease, like disease that they didn't have any protection against.
Yeah. Yes, yeah, sorry. It's
Wow, that's crazy.
No,
But the story is just mind-blowing.
Yeah, for sure. No, it sounds like you dug up also, like, you know the history and sort of like some of the teachings that go with, different First Nations people and stuff. So, I mean, it's funny that you're bringing this conversation, because I was just listening to some Chief Red Crow from the...
Just gonna go get my bottle of water.
Yeah. From the Navajo people, from the Hopis,
I have to make a purchase for Deacon's friend to get on the bus, and the bus is coming soon, so I need to order it.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah? You need to do that right now?
5 minutes.
Yeah. So yeah, I was just listening to like a little clip just before you came of, and I mean, I didn't put this on, it was on a playlist, it was on a reggae playlist, and these Rastas are very like connected with the earth, and in the same way that First Nations people are connected with energy, and so they tried to escape Babylon and all the ways of the white man and all these like colonialism and in the same sort of way that the First Nations people have, and the resilient, strong people. But on this Rasta album is a little excerpt of Chief Red Crow from the Hopi people. And he's talking about how, like, water they used to be able to drink from any stream or river before Washington came and all of this stuff. And if we were living the way of the First Nations people, we could still be doing these things, but it goes on into talking about like eventually when things get tainted, like, and tarnished and tainted and sort of infected, it reacts. And right now, like, Mother is reacting, and sort of what we're getting is like sort of like the Hopi prophecies of like, new tribe of people, like the rainbow people prophecies that change humanity and stuff. And so like a lot of people believe that those times are sort of happening, and like it's strong stuff that's going on with all the First Nations people and the energy and the universe, and like there's different people being sort of doing things. Humanity is like sacred geometry, and we're all like Vesica Pisces, we're all interconnected, we're all like these big organisms, and the universe can have people do things. So there's magic happening in different places of the world. Artists are doing things, musicians are doing things, human beings are doing things, and there's a shift in perspective happening because of certain like transfers of energies, or like openings of like certain things happening that are bigger than all of us that we don't, but it could have to do with the solar flares that are happening that are causing certain activities to be able to happen on this planet. And like, yeah, so I believe in that sort of stuff. And so when people come in here and they start talking about First Nations things or whatever, what's up, Red? Okay, yeah. Awesome, man. Sweet. I wasn't sure if you were coming today or tomorrow or what, because you had said yesterday, I'll see you tomorrow, but yeah, that's good with me. I'm excited to get those pieces finished. Red's gonna do some sanding for me on a couple things and get me ahead on a few pieces that are just gonna be yeah, I have some masks here for you. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Wow. Ben, le Barnwood,
c'est dangereux parce qu'il peut y avoir du fungi.
Ouais, il y a du micro-organisme.
C'est le même avec les spores que tu prends dessus.
J'ai eu une infection sur une petite cure cet été parce que je suis toujours dans le drain dessus. So, c'était une petite graffinure, puis les micro-organismes de dehors. Yes, okay, thank you. So I got an infection, and I had to get antibiotic cream and stuff to put it on. But it swelled up and it started to do a big, like turn black, and wow, holy jeez. It was just a little scratch, but let's see. Life is everywhere. So yeah, I mean, like even this guy here, I had a bunch of First Nations people come through here this summer, like you would not believe. Like fires have pushed the people out of their reses, like, so a bunch of the reses have come down, and they always have like events in the summer where they travel. But most, I think, First Nation people who come by think that I'm one of their people here. And a lot of even regular people think that this is First Nations energy over here. Which, like, like I try to tell them, it sort of is First Nations energy, because the creator's energy works through people, and like artists open themselves up to the energy of the universe, and like, so I'm like a bee, which is like how the First Nations people live. So when you're connected like to the universe and you just be, you do things. And so this is what I do. But anyway, this horse here had a guy come in here and he was like, how do you know about this? We don't tell anybody about this guy. And we have this guy, but we don't see him. But he's there in the underworld. And I've been telling people all summer that this guy's an underworld character, and you know, that he guides spirits and stuff, and like that, you know, and so it sort of blew me away. And this elder with a beautiful necklace, you know, nice beadwork, like Cree looking, you know, but yeah, stuff like that just blows me away. I had another guy come in. He came right up to the totem and he stood there for like 3 minutes. I was over there doing something and I walked over, introduced myself. You can see that he's like very native, very like dark skinned, red skin, dark hair. And he says, I normally have demons that follow me. This is like, I just met you. And this is what he says, I have demons that follow me, but they didn't come into your yard. They didn't follow me here. And he's like, there's too much good energy here. Yeah. He says, I'm on my way to Maniwaki, to Kitikin Zibi, for healing. He's an Ojibwe Métis. And to me, he looked pure native as hell, you know what I mean? But yeah, so then I said, yeah, come on over this way. I've got a piece I'm working on. It's a primitive guy trying to take a flight. And that's what I thought it was. And then this guy comes up with me and we go up to the sculpture, and he's lying down over there. We can go and I'll bring you over there and we'll take a look. And he goes, bro, that's not a fucking, that's a fucking Thunderbird. And I was like, oh, okay. Tell me more. He's like, that's the Thunderbird. That's the strongest spirit being of my culture. He protects us, and he judges things, and he's got lightning bolts in his eyes and thunder in his wings, and he tells me the whole thing, you know. And so I heard about these tales and stuff, but I'd never had it delivered to me in that way. And in that moment, it just hit me like a Mike Tyson punch, you know what I mean? Like, I was just like, boom. Because that piece was 3 days old. And the day before that, some guy tried to come and buy it. He came in here, and him and his wife had bought artworks from me before, and he offers me $5,000 for the primitive guy taking flight. And I was considering it. And yeah, just in a minute. I was considering it, selling it to him, because I need the money, you know, to get me through to New York and all this stuff. And I went to this bed that night, and I sort of had dreams about the artwork, because it's a newborn now. It's like 1 day old, and I was thinking, it's so big, I'm going to have a hard time selling it. And I'm already like thinking it's going to go here, and it's going to bring people in the yard, and it's going to be a powerful artwork of a primitive guy taking flight. Awesome, right? So, no, now it's even better. It's a fucking Thunderbird, and I'm having a dream about making a big mask with like feathers and stuff, and he needs a big necklace and like chest piece with beads and like some leather on him, and like maybe some paint, and you know, and then I'm starting to get ideas of like, you know, it's bigger than that. It needs to be a public artwork. It needs to be like, you know. And then I started thinking, well, I can get it bronze. Then I can like have like the wood piece secondary inside a lodge somewhere at like a powwow place, where it's going to be like the energy is going to be right. There's going to be hundreds of people, thousands of people maybe at the powwow dancing around there, making thunder and shit. You know, and like it'll be in the right place with the right people, and also a message and a beacon for like in society for like First Nations people. The metal one can be like somewhere by the water, in the open, by nature, you know, where white people and every mankind, every race that comes through the territory will know that like the Thunderbirds are here, they were here. So, but anyway, come this way. Powerful stuff, you know, and I'm trying to keep it together. But yeah. So yeah, see what I mean? Like, he's just like, yeah. So I need to make him a big cedar mask head with like plumage and stuff, and like he's gonna have like proper like regalia stuff on, like really cool. And like I need to find the right people to help me with this to finish him. But like imagine like a metal version of this, you know, cast and all the